Over the past 10 years, we have made it feasible to scale machine learning and artificial intelligence by 1,000,000 times. Naturally, the amazing achievement that we now know as ChatGPT, the emergence of artificial intelligence, was made possible by a 1,000,000-fold increase in the scale of machine learning. AI1 and #039, T replace you. Use by someone else will replace you in your position. Therefore, it is our goal and responsibility to continuously improve performance as quickly as possible as the world continues to adopt and absorb artificial intelligence. Accelerated computing was created by NVIDIA. The CPU is not replaced by accelerated computing. In actuality, we were essentially the only computing company that preferred to enhance the CPU rather than replace it in order to transfer computationally demanding workloads to the GPU. These are GPUs, or central processing units. By combining the strengths of both processors, the CPU, which excels at sequential processing, and a processor that excels at parallel processing, we can maximize their potential. Known as the GPU. Accelerated computing is what this is. Accelerated computing, not only parallel computing. GPU and CPU collaborating. CPUs are used in the great majority of the computers we see in the modern world. However, the computing model has undergone a significant shift. However, you cannot just transfer the sequentially running CPU software to a GPU for parallel execution. We need to develop numerous new algorithms. These are only a few of the 350 libraries that our organization has, some of which are extremely significant. The purpose of Culithrow is computational lithography. We take computations that take weeks to complete and turn them into hours. Naturally, we may shorten the chip building cycle time, but more significantly, we enable the advancement of lithography algorithms. Much more advanced in order to progress semiconductor physics beyond 2 nanometers, 1 nanometer, and beyond. Culithrow will thereby speed up computational lithography. Then came cuDNN, one of the most significant libraries we have ever developed. For deep neural networks, cuDNN is used to handle the multiple layers of the deep learning stack. It made it possible for us to accomplish something remarkable. It facilitated a shift in software development by developing cuTDN and speeding up and democratizing deep learning. This is how software was done in the past, Software 1.0. Code is written by software programmers to describe algorithms, which are functions of software. After you apply input, an output is predicted. Human-written code performs better on CPUs. Software 2.0 allows you to feed a computer a vast amount of real-world data so it can learn and make predictions on its own. This is possible since computers are now so fast. We refer to that as Software 2.0. Thus, machine learning has replaced coding. Neural networks are now operating on GPUs in place of CPU code. Additionally, a new operating system and method of computer use are being formed by neural networks, specifically those that are functioning on GPUs. Large language models are part of the operating system of the modern computer. This machine learning method has shown itself to be highly scalable. It could be used for a variety of purposes. Naturally, text, languages, voice, photos, video, and of course, digital sound. It might be multimodal. It could be taught the sequences of amino acids. If you have a lot of observed data, you could educate it to understand almost anything. Well, figuring out what the data meant was the first step. We were able to comprehend the words simply by looking at a vast amount of online literature. The words and #039, syntax, grammar, lexicon, and even their meaning by identifying trends and connections. Not only can we now comprehend the meaning of the various data kinds, but we can also relate them to various modalities, including words and images. It and #039, even possible to have text and video to machine articulation robots. Each of these pairings represents a new business, industry, or use case for an application. The number of applications has now grown to an astounding Cambrian boom. And that and #039, only the beginning. Naturally, one of machine learning and #039's characteristics is that the bigger the brain, the more information we can teach it and the more intelligent it gets. It is known as the scaling law. The size of the models, the quantity of training data, the efficacy, the quality, and the intelligence performance all show improvements as we scale up. Every year, the industry increases the size of the models by about 2 times, which means that 2 times as much data is required. As a result, we require 4 times as much processing power to advance. Of artificial intelligence is remarkable. The announcement of Strawberry, also known as OpenAI 0.1.01, introduced a novel form of inference to the globe. As with ChatGPT, inference occurs when you engage with the AI. ChatGPT, however, is one shot. You ask it anything you want it to do for you, or you ask it a question. It provides a response in a single shot, regardless of the cues you supply. But we are aware that thinking is frequently a multi-shot process. Just like when we think, thinking may require us to come up with several plans and possible responses from which we select the finest one. Before providing the response, we might consider it. Introspection. It is possible for us to take a difficulty and break it down into a series of steps. As we use more and more computing power, inference can perform better and better thanks to a variety of technologies that we have developed. The second scaling law, known as the inference scaling law, is now available. Thinking, contemplating, and planning are just as important as coming up with the following word. We will need to drive computing at unprecedented rates in order to comply with these 2 simultaneous scaling laws. Every time a new generation or architecture is introduced, performance is increased by X factors while power is also decreased by the same X factors. The cost is reduced by the same X factor. Therefore, improving performance is equivalent to cutting costs. Therefore, it is our goal and responsibility to continuously improve performance as quickly as possible as the world continues to adopt and absorb artificial intelligence. AI is not a problem with chips. These artificial intelligence systems are massive. The Blackwell system is this. This complete system is called Blackwell, which is also the name of a GPU. Is remarkable in and of itself. Blackwell dies come in 2 varieties. Every Blackwell die is the biggest chip ever produced. TSMC produced 104 billion transistors in their most sophisticated 4-nanometer node. A low-energy network with a speed of 10 gigabytes per second connects 2 of these Blackwell dies. That and hashtag 039, S right in the middle. That's seen, that line. 10 terabytes per second, with thousands of links between the 2 dies. 8 HBM3E memories from Micron and SK Hynix connect it. Additionally, the combined speed of these memories is 8 terabytes per second. And that and hashtag 039, S because this system ISN and hashtag 039, T able to function on its own.